capture. Stillwater. Okay. Pacific. Stillwater. Okay. Check this out. Oh, I hear you. What? Oh, no, we don't have any loaded games. Welcome to Stillwater. What's it called? Mousey Fridays, game number 6. Short indie gaming. Thanks for joining, Ash. You can put it in full screen. Yeah, so gaming right now. Bye bye. What the heck's the break room? That's the game. There's a work of fiction resemblance to any real life people. Purely coincidental, this game contains depictions of horror, mature themes, violence, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh no, you can't see that. The Ninmu? I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nino. I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm down if we can just talk it out. So many things have been happening one after another. Every day is damn dripping sound. Rotate and in real quickly. Thought it was something leaking at first, but check every faucet, every ceiling, everything, and still I still hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Please listen to me. Oh, but the water, the damn water. Water? Yes, it's everywhere. Pools of it are all over the house, and every time I try mop it up, another year. There's no end to it. Just another. It's just at night. What are you talking about? I hear someone or something along the hallways at night. It's just grandfather? No, it's not him. I thought it was, but it's not. But I seen it. That thing. Jim said it. I'm sure it's not your grandfather. Ever since that night, I locked my door and prayed that it would walk past my room. Dot dot dot. I don't know what's going on, but I swear it just keeps walking. Always walking on pools of water. Sometimes I hear them. Their steps are intricate and faint, but I can still hear them. They pace up and down, but recently it's no longer like that. What do you mean? Every morning I follow, see where the wet footprints lead. It leads towards something more clearly than before. Damn, this is like the horror game. I should have played this yesterday. It would walk down the halls, climb the stairs, and turn corners. All of it I'd follow. Eventually the trio would come to a stop. And it would all stop right by your grandfather's room. His room. Some sick joke to scare me away? Then please stop. It's not a joke, Nina. La 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 la. It can't be true. You have to believe me. I can't stay here any longer. Da, da, da. It's okay, I understand. Thank you for taking care of grandfather up until now, and I'm sorry for the stress I have caused you. Still pay you right away. To me, I don't know what's happening, but with her phone cautiously and looks around, turning her head constantly back and forth, looking over her shoulder to find if any others are listening in. Grips the phone closer to her ear before speaking again in a hushed tone. Something terrible is lurking in this house. I don't know what it is, but as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and just leave this place. Whoa! Leave? Please, it's not safe. Rumors, the curse is real. My family's not cursed. Okay. Enough. A pause. Aifu growing frustrations with one another. Neither yielding to each other's thoughts, only leaving anger and hurt to fester in silence. After what feels like suffocating stillness, Nina finally sighs and heavily and responds bluntly to the caretaker. I don't know what you heard or so, but we can't just leave things like this. Whoever and whatever they are, they will answer to me. Won't let them have their way. I don't like time wasting my energy on this stupid curse, so if you can't help me, then so be it. I'll find another way. Caretaker. Nino. My grandfather's all I have left. He is all I have left. Caretaker. ... This guy. Dinner. 7 a.m. Foggy morning, there sits a man in the corner of a booth. He drinks black coffee and, depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. And today it was just black coffee. Hugo. Swear I've never had that amount of paperwork in my life. A freaking mountain worth of it. You're a valuable member of our team, Hugo. My foot. Starting to believe that I was bamboozled into joining the agency. This is his profile. Hugo Lauren, age 30, takes a good look at his cup of joe and chugs it all in one sitting. Oops. What did I do? He then continues to grumble to himself about last night's grueling work at the office. I really need to find a different job. As he contemplates his poor life choices, he looks out towards the early mist. There is something inherently terrifying about the fog around him, how it engulfs everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces. Proof of it remaining. Even in a quaint little town like this, I cannot run from my fate, I guess. Stares at the compiled newspaper clippings he put together. Some of them are from recent events, but mainly all were past headlines of missing person cases. No matter how many times I see this, it's still just as hard to look at. Fixating case after case, he can't help but remind himself there's a reason for all of this. All too personal reason. Seeing strange things comes with a price. And I'm doing this one to myself. Sounds rough. Mind if I join you? Cool. An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He looks up to see the one responsible, although reluctantly. Good morning, Hugo. Hugo. What is that word? How do I say that? We fit our house first obstacle, chat. Okay, I'm not good at reading out loud. Oh, Scowls. Scowls. I'm gonna assume it's Scowls. Growls. 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 And turns away from him, and then he gathers the files and shoves it into the binder. Meanwhile, the tall man... Man, I'm so sick of reading. Why did I pick a text-based game? It's so over. Oh, frick. Is that stealing your content? What do you mean? Oh, I'm so sick of reading. Wait. Okay. Let's man up. I'm gonna read. I can read in my head fine, but reading out loud it's like, oh, whoops, we accidentally skipped it. He greets the waitress by passing by and orders himself the hefty buddy breakfast special with an extra plate. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to rely on his order. The man then looks at Hugo. He's an empty cup and now jumbled newspaper clippings, all while Hugo is trying to ignore him. Should really eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? I'm fine, Noah. I'm just not in a good mood, okay? Not even a little. ... There's a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Bad for you. I ordered a big breakfast for the two of us. Two. As if the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. But how did you order that for the two of us? Eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Wow. I hang myself. Right, Hugo. Even listening. Come on, we know if you don't eat, who knows when you will, and I'm not about to let you faint again. Whoa, is this a boy love? Boy love? So open wide. Da. Hey, I gotta check out Quasar's stream. Yes, he's streaming it! God damn. Oh no, he's streaming the stream! He's using it as a background for his game, what the heck? What the heck, Koizo? No, wait, boy love? Yeah, I think this might be boy love. No, what? Wait, he's speaking your language? Wait, what's your language? What is he speaking? Wait, can you hear? Wait, Quasar's using it as a background. Can they hear us talk me talk as well? Damn. Okay, yo, what up, Quasar chat? I can't hear him though. Noah D. Leon, age 27, a natural-born charmer, also the only person in the world who lovingly threatens him to eat every day. Damn, I remember the days when I used to do that to friends. With a pen? And so luck, Hugo finally gives in and eats a generous spoonful without any other complaint. Hugo, da. It's good. Right? Food will always cheer you up. Damn him. I got swept away again. Whoa, is this Boiler? Oh, by the way, the chief will be out for a business trip. She mentioned it will be a couple of days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear about it. Yesterday, I think. Yesterday. He kind of looks like Grumpy Cat. She told me to sort out the cabinets yesterday. She didn't mention anything about the business trip. Pretty sudden one. Well, I mean, she did tell me to tell you. I know where you go every morning. Da. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. What do you want to do? We technically have the day to start off. I'm gonna head back to the office. There's a couple of boxes I didn't get a chance to sort out. Crazy's out here stealing content. God damn. The Nin covers the name. His name is just In that case, I'll come with you. You can just rest for the day. Quit it. Enlightening bandit, the two of them finish their breakfast, pay for the meals, and head to the car. He opens the door to the passenger seat. He notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. The dog stirs in the car, opening and staring. Sorry, big guy. Closes the doorway, trying not to make too much noise to disturb its occupant. Look at that dog. Kinda looks like dad characters in some cartoons, how they have like the big eyebrows. They like cover their eyes, the big bushy brow. Ruby. Sound of his name. Heavy lidded eyes slowly peek out to see who calls for him. It's his one and only partner, his human. He pounces and proceeds to wag his tail. Good morning. Having a nice nap. 8 years old, most faithful and loving partner in crime. He just sleeps all over the place. Knowing he was witnessing all this from the back seat, laughs to himself. He's amazed. Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Yeah, damn, look at his face. He's so happy, you know? Doesn't matter how many times I try, when it comes to boosting his mood, no one can beat the dog. Agency, 7:50 a.m. Three head back to the office. The space is just as Hugo left it. A decent, organized mess. To his credit, there's amount of boxes he painstakingly went through. He believes he did a good job. Could have it better. Really outdid yourself. It looks less crowded. Shut it, will you? Said I was gonna get to it. Thanks. Before he could continue to give it Patsy notices someone, a woman standing typically peering outside of the storefront. She looks frantic and restless. Bring emphasis to it. Woman tries to grasp the door handle several times but stops before she touches it. Agitated and distressed about something. Point is even preventing her from simply reaching out for help. However, when she finally makes eye contact with Hugo, she rushes it. Uh-oh, what have I done? I'm sorry. I know the sign is closed, but I saw you come in and You're right, miss. I need your help. My grandfather, Oh, she continued to explaining. Noah cuts in front of Hugo and intervenes in an all too practiced manner. It's okay, miss. We'll hear what you have to say. Please sit over there. Gestures to a chair. He hesitates. Her eyes. Let's skip this. Woman walks over and sits on the edge of the sofa. Posture is very intense. There's no sign of comfort, even for this brief moment of peace. You start off by telling us your name. I apologize. I'm usually a bit more composed than this, but I'll be falling at that too. My name is Nina. Mortimer. Hello, Miss Nina. My name is Noah D. Leon. I am one of the assistants here. My assistant Colby. Brooding over there is private investigator Hugo Laurent. Our chief is on our way on business, but I think we can still accommodate you. Prepared more laps, more hopeful, even relief from this warm welcome. However, when she tenses up again, guilt and shame rushing back into the visible creases of her brow, realizes she was there. Need help watching over my grandfather. I know it's a strange request, but my hands are tied on this. It has to be tonight. I don't quite understand, Nina. Is the grandfather in any danger? I really like this art style. They all look really cute. I think someone is trying to take him away. Take him. Miss Nina, I think you should contact Miss Nina, I think you should contact the police immediately. They are far more equipped at handling this kind of situation. No, they're not. Holy shit, look at her face. It's freaking out. Just freaking out. Chat, what do we do? She's freaking out. How would you deal with this situation? This lady comes into your office. Whoa! What hold on, what do you mean punch her? Well, I guess if your job wasn't to be an investigator, you might react that way or try and ask her to get out. I don't think that's how you deal with it, Guzman. What the heck? I don't think we can do that. There's no way you do that. It's assault. No, they're not. I've tried requesting help, but they've given me the same answer verbatim for weeks now. They would send someone out to watch over the manor for the entire day, but at the end of their routine, they would always report back nothing unusual. They saw no one else leaving or arriving at the house other than me or the caretaker. And despite telling them in detail about the letters and all the strange thing that's been happening, there's nothing they can do about it except sit around until it escalates even more. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I don't know, her face just really scares me. Like, that's a lot of emotion. Like, just freaking, like, that's maximum freak out face, you know? I can't wait any longer. Like, that's like crying, begging for your life face. Like, I don't want to die, you know? I feel like it's just a bit extreme. It'll all be too late. If only. And then she goes back to, like, normal me face. Only I knew who Lewis was. Lewis is out of grass. Her hand shut out to the corner of her mouth, realizing she said too much carelessly. What do you mean by that? Tries to avert her gaze, but Hugo stares persistently at her. Miss Nina, who is Lewis? Are they the ones causing all of this? Oh, uh-oh. What have I done? Contemplates. Bites on her nipple nervously. Too heavy to utter. A mistake she can't take back. While the silence stretches further, her speaks to Nina with a gentle and reassuring tone. We know it's scary, all the things you've mentioned to us so far. No one should have to experience, especially by themselves. We'll listen to all of it, I promise. Loud and manic eyes. She sees people are trying to just give their time and listen to her. Actually help her. Opens her going purse, and one of the pockets she takes out a single crumpled envelope with pigmented red wax seal pressed in the middle. A glance. Claudia looks so like. She looks really pissed. You can tell right away this letter appears to be a bit worn out and antique. Grandfather has been receiving cryptic letters for the past month now. Letters didn't come with an address or name of sender, but this one is different from the rest. One has the name Lewis on it. He hands over. Hugo notices her hand shaking. Before he reaches out his hand, he senses a faint shift in the unnoticeable to others, but all too glaringly clear to him. Something very wrong with this letter. Haunted letter. The haunted letter. Scary, spooky letter. He recoils his hand in pain, being struck with something sharp so spontaneously. More like paper cut. You alright? I didn't mean to hurt you. It's fine. It's not your fault. Not your fault. There's at the cut. Draining down and stuffing just above the first crease in his hand. The blood. The red is so clearly visible, it's taunting. Doesn't look like a normal paper cut to me. Let me get you a band-aid. Fine, I don't need one. But it's really fine, it doesn't hurt. Bro got a paper cut? All the way here for just one letter. Just truly terrifying. Removes the contents of the envelope and has a look. Any other normal letter? Lewis is asking the other Henry to come meet him by the lakeside. Shares something important. However, what's eerily striking about this is not itself. Staring at the bottom of the page, a message is scrawled unlike the rest, visibly stands out, a message that shouldn't be there. Remember our promise, Henry. Did you receive this letter yesterday? Your grandfather at the house with the caretaker. What sort of agreement? Caretaker has agreed to watch over my grandfather, but only during the day. Before nightfall, they would leave exactly at the same time. Before nightfall. I want to believe that this whole thing is just an elaborate scheme to scare my family away. It sounds crazy. At one point, I thought everyone was in on it. The mail carriers, the officers, the caretakers. Everyone had a hand at making a family suffer. But, oh my gosh, there's the face again. It's freaking terrifying. But this one's different. Up until now, I've never heard of anyone by that name. Not a relative or a family friend. It really freaks me out. His face is terrifying, bro. They finally know who grandfather is. If I don't do something about this... Oh, she's crying. The eyes. It's the eyes. I think so. I will lose. I will lose him too. Despite uttering words alone, she begins to break down. The stress, anxiety, fatigue of it all is finally catching up. She hunches forward, hands press into her eyes as she tries to cover the stream of tears. Oh god. Ugh. His act of comfort, Kobe sits closer to Nina while Noah fetches tissues. Hugo, on the other hand, is puzzled. Dead ass face. He's dead ass, stone cold. Nyncel. You said this whole thing has been going on for the past month. Something doesn't add up. Before nightfall, I think there's one more. There's more to this she's not admitting. Whatever happened with the letter, I'm more than certain that whoever, whatever Lewis is, they're coming for blood. Can we just reject it? Game over? Let's save. Reject. Hugo casts his face in directly at the ground in front of him, unable to look at her. The burden, the solitude, the madness, Hugo knows all of it too immediately. He suffers from the same conflicts that weighs heavily on her mind. Yet, in spite of this, it's too much for him. Like walking along a tightrope with the ground, void and unclear. Past empty and dark, so very dark. No, I can still do it. I have to do this. Before he can respond, a distant voice, so charming, so terribly commanding, binds him on the spot. It's already too late for them, you know. Are we like some sort of ghost whisperer or something? No, not here. Dang, it's the voices? Doing schizo. Pulsating sound, so rhythmic in tune starts maddening. Melanie. Base of his skull, he feels it, present and daunting. Just let go. Let me help you. Oh, I can still do it if you just let me. Oh, kind person you are, Hugo. He reminds himself to breathe. Sweet and beloved friend. To remember there are other people that care for him, the joy and warmth of company. I wish you could have done the same for me. Useless. Hey, what's wrong? Tries to catch his attention, but he fails. Hugo. Bro's tweaking right now. He will not respond, but Hugo can hear everything. Like a paralysis he cannot wake up from. Noah apologizes to Nina. I'm sorry, I don't think we can help you at the moment. Come back a bit later, we can. Oh, she's crying. No, it's fine. There won't be a next time. No, wait, Miss Mortimer, please. Bugger. Stands up abruptly from his seat, reddened face, and looks down. Me in the forefront, already trying to forget. Bows her head and walks out of the office, not looking back. Bad ending. Achievement unlocked. Bad ending. Lol. Okay, yeah, let's take the case. What about tissues? We'll do it. Take your case. For a moment, everything goes still. Game is easy. Yeah, game over. Man, I'm not used to yapping so much. So much yapping. I'm wavering and more determined as ever. Gotta get used to it. Anyone else speaks, Nina stands up, wipes away any stray tears from her face, and walks to him. We'll take it. Hugo nods. Thank you, thank you. Oh, how much this means to me. We're glad to help. I don't even know how much this means to me. We're glad to help. Call me Nina. Do our best. Gratitude. Hope. Change. Family for the better, yeah. However, before heading out, Nina reaches into her bag once more. Takes out a piece of paper and a pen and hastily starts jotting down something. Is that 4970 Church Street? I'll let grandfather know ahead of time you'll be coming. Also, this is addressed. I'll greet you when you arrive. Thank you truly. She politely bows and walks out of the office, already reaching into her purse for car keys. Hugo watches from his desk as she opens the driver's seat. Nina looks back at the office and takes one last look. She waves slightly at him before finally pulling out and the car park and driving off. Hugo turns to his cluttered desk. I guess I'll have to sort this out later. Car. 5:30 p.m. The ongoing downpour to quiet hums in the car. They sit in silence. 2 miles off of their destination, Hugo constantly checks the rearview mirror to see any passing cars. But it was only them on the road. Noah, who usually chats his ear off by now, quiet against the car door as he looks out to the passing streetlight. Reserved and distant. Said a word to Hugo since they left the office. You're a lot quieter than you. What's wrong? What a surprise. Have you been looking at me? No, you're an idiot. You usually just like to talk a lot, that's all. But you miss me talking. Just say it. And believe in her story. What? And other things that she told us, she's telling the truth. Yes, I believe her. Or at least I believe that she has lied to us. You know, I can't shake this feeling that she's hiding something. Like, she left out certain details on purpose. Why did she travel this far out of town for a private eye? Surely there must have been another far closer to her home than ours. Just don't know how to explain it. But are you making fun of me? I'm just admiring your observation. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet until she was finished. But her last name caught me off guard. You ever heard of the Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family that owned an esteemed fishing company. They used to, I believe. They have yet to name here. Oops, I accidentally skipped that. It go naturally to Nina. It should, but I don't know. From what I heard, each time they try to name a successor, that relative mysteriously disappears. One without a trace, or so anyone thought. Their bodies would soon turn up months later, and you know what's strange? All of them have been labeled as accidents by local news. No foul play, just another loss for the family. You've been struck with so many tragedies that over time people begun to believe that they were cursed or something. Cursed. Yeah, I can understand why you shouldn't go to this again. They most likely thought she was seeing things and went along with the procedures just to keep face. But deep down, they must have thought that she had gone mad. Dot dot dot? This is truly a dot 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 moment. I can't imagine all of this for Nina. Most of all, who knows what we'll find there. That's why you decided to come. Whoops. I kicked my bottle of water over. Well, partially. I'm more worried about you, though. Why? Get over this way. I'm appointed driver. When you decide to do some pretty reckless shit, I'll be there to drive you to the locust hospital. Two is better than one. Exactly. Fine with Colby coming with me. Three is better than two. Or tomorrow state 6 p.m. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate can finally be beyond the evergreen. It's so deep away from prying eyes, it stands tall, magnificent, and classic. Truly a rarity only afforded to the privileged, and yet, with all its opulence, it looms from a distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor. Lol. Its grand stature topples easily over dozens of houses they drove past. Wow, look at the size of it. I could have never imagined seeing a house like this in person. It's almost too surreal. Come on, she's waiting for us. Immediately after the driver's seat, a sudden sharp pain weighed heavily on Hugo's chest. Grasping at his coat, he begins to grasp for air. Vision hastens as he leans close to the car, trying desperately to ground himself. Like a fish drawn out of the sea, he desperately heaves. The air in his lungs escaping too quickly, burns as if his throat such a strain, drawing tighter as more he breathes. This has something much more similar. One is watching him. We'll be together soon, Henry. Oh no. What the hell? What the hell? Damn it. Already. I need to hurry or else. Hey, are you alright? Bro's going schizo. Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his trance. Kobe nudges his head against Hugo, whining with concern. You heard that just now. Hear what? The voice. It was so close to my ear. Everything alright? I'm fine, don't mind me. Bit, loopy. I'd be happy to make you tea at the very least. If it's no trouble, I don't know. It's the least I can do. Once again, the subtle uneasiness from Nina's services. Before Hugo could get a chance to look up further from it, she walks off towards the front porch without saying another word. You sure you're alright? You said you were choking. I said I'm fine. Besides, we're already here. We can't back out now. I think you should. He's cut off from his lecture shop as he notices Nina stopping at the front door. She stands by the door contemplating just like before, but this time she seems more anxious. Whatever unease she tried to mask became more apparent the minute she walked closer to the door. I haven't been quite honest with you, detective. Oh, here it is. Carefully choosing her next word, she decides words are not enough. You see for yourselves what I mean. What the Ninmu? With that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo is about to enter when he feels a tug on his arm. Get what I told you. Something happens. Let me know right away. They proceed to head in, not knowing what waits beyond. Greeted with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes immediately that the interior is just as grand. Antique furnishings, floral accents, the house itself eludes the word of elegance. Classic and rustic charm with the walls and floral rings made from the finest wood. Hugo couldn't help but gape as he walked in. But he noticed something even more distinct than the splendor. An unsettling air rushes through the house, leaving no room for doubt that inside is far more terrifying than outside. Come this way. Facing themselves, they entered a dimly lit dining room. I'm not sure what I said, lol. At first glance, Hugo could not discern the silhouette situated at the far corner. Only the sparse lighting from the window pieced through reflection of the room's darkness. As they approached closer to the silhouette, Hugo now understands the reason for all of Nina's unsettling vagueness. Good morning, Shuvi. Grandfather, we have guests. Damn, what's up with his eyes? Sitting on the armchair is a very young man, not much older than Hugo or Noah, dressed modestly and shares none of the imposing presence and no rather such luxury does not even get remotely reflect on the main man before them at all. The flow of time had stopped only for him, where the rest had continued changing drastically without him. Like the letter, timeless, delicate, and jarringly out of place. Staring only at the window, the young man sits there with the daze and little acknowledgement of the people around him. Still motionless, like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. This is Detective Lawrence and his two Laurent and his two assistants, Kobe and Noah, trying to help us. Henry. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feel unnerved. The man before them was supposed to be frail and older than any of them. Yet here he remains, forever unchanging, ever young. They've come a long way, so I'll be making us some tea. You like some, Grandpa? Does not reply back, nor does he glance at Nina or anyone else in the room. Only fixates his gaze on the rain, nothing else. Sure to make a cup for you too. Timothy gestures to Hugo and Noah back to the foyer. Hearing more questions, the two follow Nina outside, but before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There's an all too familiar air about Henry Mortimer. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Whatever he must be longing for, Hugo knows it will never end well. You know, that man. Oh yes, he's my grandfather, the one I told you about. The one I asked you to watch over. I know this is hard to believe, but Nina draws something out from her pocket. The picture of a handsome man with slick back hair, wearing the finest of suits. The gentleman in the picture has a different air to him, one of wealth and power, all of which reflects on the all-current Henry Mortimer, almost as if looking at two different people. This isn't much to go by, but believe me, they are the same person. Why does he look so young? Happened a few nights ago. On my way to get a cup of water when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. I was worried that something fell over, so I went to go check. When I opened the door, I found him collapsed on the floor. Oh no, not this that face again. That's their signature face. Throws me off every freaking time. I rushed to help him up, but when I did, he looked so different. He even wore the same clothes that my grandpa wore that night. In his face, I recognized his face. He looked younger. So many things were rushing through my head at the moment, and yet he felt familiar to me. I know it sounds bizarre the more I look, or the more I talk about it, but that's what happened. That was also the same night I found the letter next to him, already open. I'm sorry for all of this. No matter what I went through, they either said something wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they were right. Pools of water, the letters, those, and now this. Been ignoring the signs for years and blinding, hoping things get better. Try to find solutions on my own, but it's not enough anymore. Maybe my family really is cursed. No, they're not. Curses aren't real. Detective. I think we can easily get too involved in believing that sort of thing exists. In truth, the ones who fixate on it make it their reality. Rumors, doubts, lies, all of those things are what they want to become real. Deep-rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. Like a curse, those emotions drag people down with them. Personally, I think you're too caught up in all of this. I assure you, we'll see this through. You and Mr. Mortimer. Thank you. Our first priority is to find out more about Lewis. Uh-oh. This away. The letter you showed us back at the agency, do you have it? Yes. I could borrow it for a bit, of course. What are you going to do? Search everything. I couldn't come up with clues. I'll be using it as a reference or a guide. I'm afraid I can't discuss too much of the process. Trade secret. Of course. Check upstairs. Now you and Kobe check the ground floor. Got it. Before they leave to do their own investigation, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. Leans in close enough for Nina not to hear. Keep a close eye on Mr. Mortimer and Nina, especially Nina. I don't want her to be dragged any more than she already is. Whatever happens, keep her safe. Go, you. Okay, yell for me. Okay, I'm counting on you. Shit, that scared me. You too. Fucking dog. Goddamn. Final nod, Hugo goes towards the staircase and heads upstairs. Noah stares for a moment longer, and Hugo's back before he disappears to the first floor. He then turns back to Kobe. Time for us to get to work. Investigation. I should save. Check around for objects, place people, use arrows, move to a different area, outlines will appear on clickable objects. Top right is a hint button. Okay. Damn. That was a lot of reading. Okay, check this out. Oh, I got an achievement just for like doing nothing. Okay. Look at that funny guy. Sitting motionless in the corner of the room, his gaze never leaving the rain. Duck. I don't like the music, it's quite scary. Old rotary diaphone. It looks like it's still in good use. Arrangement of violets and white roses. They seem new and fresh. Oops. Shelf close to the entranceway. It contains a couple photo albums. What do I do now? What up, dog? Photo frames. Being covered. My grandfather commissioned many back in the day. Oh, the photo frames. I forgot to read it more. But sadly, he doesn't do it anymore. You know, I can't help but notice the paintings are covered. How come? I did that. I covered them up for my grandfather's sake. For his sake. Yes, he was pretty obsessed with them. There were times when he would even mutter to himself and just stare at the paintings for days on end. It worries me so much that I covered them all covered up. Since then, he hasn't stared at any of them. Just sits quietly, looking outside. About the paintings, I also noticed they all have a similar theme. They all have water in them. But this isn't a coincidence since you've told us this before. If there's anything you know, please tell me. Can I ask you a question first? Sure. Do you believe in mermaids? Mermaids. I don't suppose I do. Why? Her gaze fixed on the floor, she anxiously fidgets and tightly clasps her hands together. She then briefly sighs and continues. Well, there's a story, or rather, more like a fairy tale that my family has passed down. Fairy tale. Yes, well, it feels like one to me. About this fisherman who fell in love with a mermaid. Every day and night he would go by the shore to gaze at her beauty, but one day she vanished, leaving him confused and heartbroken. Determined, he would sail many seas for a chance to see her again. Sailing from coast to coast, new lands beyond and back he would go. Not long after, fortune followed him all throughout his journey and made him one of the wealthiest and highly respected people in his village. However, despite all the wealth he gained through his travels, he never found the mermaid again. It would only be a dream, nothing more. That's the end of the story. It doesn't end happily, but I guess there was a lesson behind all of it. I just didn't understand. What do you think happened to the mermaid? I know it's an exaggeration, and yet I can't help but wonder. Hard to say. I just feel bad for them. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of sad endings. If it were me, I would wish the fisherman and mermaid to see each other again. Or at least that's what I think. If they weren't meant to be with each other. Yeah, I think so. I can't imagine anyone going through the journey all by myself. Hard being alone. Journey all by yourself. Wartime estate, 11:30 p.m. After searching vigorously from each of the rooms, his findings would eventually lead him here. I'm not sure if this is a good code to have multiple people talking in, because it's just me reading the story. Long. After searching vigorously through each of the rooms, he knew his findings would eventually lead him here. That's it. Ingo walks to the nearest lamp's shade and switches it on. Dimly illuminated, he sees the extent of how lavish this part of the house is. From the customized window drapes to the vintage furnishings. Everything here let's get that. Extravagance. But much like the interior Hugo has seen so far, he finds this one particularly reeks of it. Lasted from war to war, a gloom lingers. Do you like that Pokemon? Gloom? As if the room itself is mouldering despite its preserved nature. And the chest canopy, it's locked, safeguarding or whatever. Side. Bookshelf. Academic books. Fiction to geography, all on display. Hidden behind the vast collection are some children's fairy tales, all carefully kept. Scattered pieces of paper all forgotten, lie waiting on the cold floor. Heavily etched markings are found scrawled all over the papers. VOD. Pearl sits patiently by, untouched and unused for quite some time. Leather-bound journal rests on the edge of the table. Pages are torn out so haphazardly that the binding itself is starting to fall out. Hangs a familiar painting of a beautiful woman floating in the water. An old photo of a lost time, sweet summertime memory of a little girl with her beloved grandfather. I need to hurry. I don't want to stay here for too long. 11:50. Searches and still there's no signs. You go, even if there's a fragment, singular straight to that person, to their real selves. Find them, but there is nothing. Yo, what up? Not one thing pertaining to him. As if the thought of Lewis Berry existed at all. What is going on? I clearly sensed that presence but now it's gone. Damn it, I wish I had more time. Calm down, it has to be here. I just need to focus. He ponders. Oops. He ponders again, retracing every step and little detail, hoping that he overlooks something. Yet all he knows is one tangible thing that connects him, that tethers so closely to the space, and most all to Henry is the letter. Words of promise of love or delicacy etched into the page, but tainted with the powerful and dark emotion that's festering for too long. Tainted. Hugo has believed, from the very start, Hugo has believed whoever Lewis is the ones responsible. He thought he could find them and convince them to stop their haunting for good, to bring peace and move on. However, that isn't the case anymore. The unnatural force that binds everyone so closely together in this family is not the cause of an angry spirit. No, it's something more devious than that. He takes the letter out from the envelope. He knows the change from within, bearing no forbearing threat at the bottom of the page. This looks like a regular letter, or it was. Sad and tragic love. Can't come, then I understand. Things have gotten more complicated with your mother ever since she found out about us, right? I'm sorry, Henry, for everything. It hurts to see you so torn up like this. I've never hurt or drag you along with me. This is to be our farewell, and I ask you one favor. Would you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I'd like for you to have it. I'd be happy to know it's safe. My heart will be forever yours, Henry. With love, Louis. Louise? Louis? This. So this was the true letter. Small worms from the paper, wrapping closely around his fingers, quiet and smooth. The fragment Hugo was searching for. Louis, I'm sorry. You're also a victim of all this too. Please, if you can hear me, I need your help. Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard from across the room. Thing unlocked itself, seized the chest. All the other furniture, its features have not been maintained well, left to rot on its own. Suddenly he stops at the sound of us. A voice, a sweet voice whispering, beckoning him to the fireplace. Come here, my dear sweet boy. The safe. I gotta go to the painting. It'll kill me. Mounted by the fireplace is a painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. The pale skin is, I'm not sure that word, brightly prominent against the contrast to a dark, murky waters that keep her hidden, keep her bound to the canvas. Hugo stares intensely at the picture, an apathetic sorrow swells within him, disarming his senses and forcing him close to surrendering himself. Oh. Gotta kill us. Poor thing, how lonely you must feel. You're a lot like him, like Henry. Approaches close and close to the painting, and his mind screams to run. He sees that he can finally see beyond the facade the lady portrays. What the painting truly is. Don't worry. Oh, I can take that sadness away? The deformed creature, a mermaid, floats above the surface. Large hollow eyes staring back, boring deeply into his eyes. Skin is melting, bleeding heavily with this black as it gushes out from the canvas. Some of it starts to hit not only the floor but Hugo as well. Fire clings persistently to him, unrelentlessly as they pile up, and then he feels it. What drew him initially to this thing, a deep sense of longing rushes through him, snuffing out what little control he had, finally embracing this nature to come home. Take my hand. Without hesitation, Hugo reaches out and she pulls and grabs him in. But looking back, he dives in and follows after her, turning to nothing. Oh, bad ending, guys. Long. Don't worry, we got achievement though. It's a banger. No, stay focused. I won't let it get to me. Preparing himself, he heads towards the chest and opens it. Inside, a scrambled letter, a bunch of notebooks and small trinkets. For the 100%. Yeah, it is. For the 100%. We need 100%. He rummages through and stumbles across an old newspaper article. Man found dead by the lake. An unidentified young man was found the morning of XXXXX, 3 days prior to his death, according to police. Ruled out as suicide, police have claimed that the troubled young youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss. An unfortunate event indeed. See you, Tradish. Thanks for stopping by. Lol. No claims of his body has been made yet. Lewis. By the corner of Hugo's eye, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He reaches out for it. A locket. A picture of a young man with glasses inside, smiling. Must be the locket he was talking about. So pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. And this picture. He put this here. Must have been Henry. But why would he store this away? What should I do? Hey, good. Probably hold on to this for now. Get to him, please. Lewis. Enter what distant plead echoes in his heart. Got an ache of yearning and regret. Gripped him deeply. Feelings not his own starts to ripple wanting to be found again and remembered. Don't worry, I'll bring it to him. I'll make sure of it. About to put everything in the chest when he feels a cold and wet sensation crawling up his leg. Wet water. Pool of water spread across the floor, really seeping into the chest. The light shut off. The shout. He goes back to call out for Noah, but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. Looming over him stands a tall, ominous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it's far from it. This is the thing trying to intimidate a human form. Trying to be human, Hugo could only step back. Paralyzed with fear, he watches horror as it slowly moves towards him. Just like before, the sensation of someone staring down at him from within. This time it's drawing near. Though those words out to Kobe or Noah failed to reach. Push in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he forces his body to move. It stops, looking down at Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt as it speaks. Don't get in my way. All of a sudden, the door to the bedroom slams shut and the entity disappears. And from his body releases. Vision blurs and breathing is haggard. He staggers towards the door. He yanks the handle several times, but it's jammed. Fuck. Noah Colby. Dismay, he is only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. Damn it. From a distance, he faintly hears the sounds of Colby's relentless barking as it is further away from the house. He rushes to a window, he tries to get it open, but just like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Being underwater, his movements are slow and drawn out. Being dragged down by something. Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. He grabs a chair and strikes the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks get larger with each blow, splintering off pieces. What the hell is this thing made of? He catches breath. He musters up all strength for the final blow. Damn you, just break already. Clearing out the remaining shards, Hugo peers out his head out to see if there's any railing. Discovers that the wall is adjacent is covered in ivy. Right how the heavy rain has become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of vines. Climbs out of the window, making sure he doesn't touch a vine she clenches sought to tear away from the wall. Struggles to find his grip and but fails. Uh-oh. Shite! Loses grip and crashes down into the bushes. Immense pain is over his entire body. Buddy screams out in pain. He forces himself up. There's still time. I can do this. Makes his way to the place where it all started, to the lake where this tragedy starts and ends. Lake. Finally entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Kobe and Noah. Kobe, Noah, where are you? He hears faint sound of barking and echoes of people yelling. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far, as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop, Grandpa, let me go. My grandpa, he's... Oh, Nina, it's dangerous. You get hurt too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing Nina's dead. Hugo. Not even the whines and worried cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he goes ahead. Nearly at the deep end of the lake, he sees Henry Mortimer gazing directly into the abyss. Looks even more frail and disheveled than before. As if all his life he's lived up until this point has begun to fray, draining every ounce of himself and surrendering to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to shore with me. Motionless and unresponsive, he stares at the water. Haze over his eyes, still obscure and persistent. There are so many things we can't afford to lose in our lives, and you're one of them. Nina, you're all that she has left. Need you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it, a slight jolt from Henry's arm, disturbed by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Nina. Ever just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold. No, all of this is my fault. If only I got loose sooner, then none of this would have happened. He's patient with me, and yet after all he's done, I chose my family over him. He's gone because I didn't pick him. Henry falls further away from the shoreline. The Mortimer. Manic eyes never straying too far from Hugo, he keeps his distance. Louis, I'm sorry, I was the one who dragged you to deserve much more, and I wished. He struggles over his words, pressed tightly to his shirt, throat dry and taunt all that he has bottled up. All those repressed and silent years of just waiting. Waiting for this curse to finally take him. Wish I had gone with you that night, Louis. So even if you still covered that wish, it wouldn't resolve anything, not for you or Louis. Read what he wrote to you those years ago. Understood if you didn't want to come see him. Never thought any less of you. His letters, for the longest time I wanted to believe he hated me for that, resented me for that choice. Or at least I thought it was easier for me to think that way. How long has it been since we talked? Been too long, sir. I have to shoulder all the pain. We can talk about it together. Hugo extends not only his hand, but a promise that Henry learned a way to forgive himself. He hesitates. What a fool believes in forgiveness. Such a thing doesn't exist. Despite everything, he still reaches out to a stranger. Perhaps he can be forgiven. As he was about to reach for him, my hand slithers in Henry's instead. Naturally contort around him, where its head perches on his shoulder. This thing. This Lewis was no preventing him from being human. Piercing cold green eyes, it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him. Nothing but despair. Can be saved. We can be forgiven. So, only one true way out of this. I will share with you the most happiest of endings. Hey, disappears in the water. Just more time. Desperate pleads, Hugo dives in after him into abyss. And Spikes continues passing from his legs to the tip of his fingers, fiercely and unyielding, his chest tightens. Heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes he'll find Henry. Zooming deeper and deeper, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending into darkness. Gets closer to Henry, a long snake-like arm stretched across the void and grab Hugo's neck. Violently, he's dead. Oh, I guess we'll find out. Violently squeezing all the air out of him, he tries desperately to wrench its hands away. Each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Lewis, where are you, Lewis? Looking for Lewis? Grasped for the locket he get kept, holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. Ah, there you are. He releases the grip on Hugo instead. Oh, skipped it, whoops. Taking this chance, he drops the chain and kicks with all his might to grab Henry's arm. His heart and body screaming in pain, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there. Have to... Lights from the surface begin to blur. That one last attempt for it. Worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. Before he loses consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer. Everything fades. Drifting along what feels like an endless sea, Hugo courses through the final wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is he's very, very tired. Has it been night's rest? Been too long. Maybe I should take that rest now. Make it alone. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. I'm sorry for starting. I just wanted to see you one last time before I go. Lewis, done so much for me and Henry. Dang, it's Lewis? I can't help but thank you enough. No worries. I want to thank you too for reaching out for me, and also I want to apologize for my remarks from before. I really thought I had things figured out once I found you, but you know how that turned out for me. It's alright, really. After all this time, I didn't think anyone could hear me. Especially Henry. I was worried about him for a long time. Keep me safe from them, but I was too stubborn for my own good. Honestly, don't regret it. Any of it. Even if I could no longer reach out to Henry. Fate weaved its thread back to you, connecting us once more in this very moment. For that, I am forever grateful to you, Hugo. You're welcome. Far from the distance, Hugo hears a voice crying out for him. Oh, they're waiting for you. I guess they are. Take care, Hugo. Wait, the dog's licking you. Another familiar voice or two annoyingly close for comfort. Eyes shut right open. He jugs up. Hughes looks around and coughs the remaining water from his lungs. Are you alright? Wine over, Hugo. What happened? What's safe so too? Is Nina? They're both okay. Police and ambulance should be arriving soon. Thank goodness. Then what you have to say to me instead of thank goodness. But you don't listen. I'm sorry. Lets out a sigh and pats his back. Detective learned. Oh hi Nino. Oh hi Nino. Someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man, frail in stature. He timidly looks to his side pensively as he ponders to himself. Though his youth's face has long faded, eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer piercing and vicious green. Only eyes just like Nina. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. Henry. I never got a chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Lewis lived on in this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? That constant mindset, I dragged everyone down. Kept hurting not me, but Nina, the one to blame. I was the one to blame for all of this. But you, someone I never met, still went out of your way to save me. Not knowing my burdens or faults. Thank you. He reaches out to Henry and smiles at him. It's been my pleasure, sir. Before he lets go, Henry tugs Hugo's hands one last time. I hope that someday you two will overcome it. The next day, 8 a.m. Good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Though closer inspection, he looks like he's going to combust any minute. You're writing up a report. Without looking up, he responds back. Yes, for the most part. Still need to write yours too. I will. Since I haven't had breakfast and I don't like eating by myself. 2 is better than 1. Yes. Hugo, you're already catching on. I am so proud of you. Shut that, will you? I only swear if I hadn't fallen off from the goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. But now I could begin to cut the bacon. Pauses. By the way, mind telling me what happened to the Mortimer's window? I broke it. It's obvious, but I don't understand is why it's broken. You know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know. It was really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told the Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him. Also the bill. Surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. Lucky us, right? So just these 2 people. So what? You just called it for a day after all that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it. You pay for it. Would you chill? Of course I'll pay for it. Each time I keep insisting, he shrugs it off. Put it in on the screen? Hey, check this out. Oh. Okay, hold up. We gotta put it in on the screen. Oh, frick. This is the most yapping I've ever done. Most yapping I've ever done. flattening out. Time I keep insisting he'll just shrug it off. Should that we already went through a lot of them. So it was a lot, nothing for comparison. I don't know what I just said, but you know, man, you know what, he's right. After all we went through, we deserved at least a nap. Stops and sees a familiar person walking towards the storefront, carrying something with her. Morning, you two. Barely a foot in the door, a sudden bloodhound stirs up from its resting spot and makes its way. Nina, tail uncontrollably wagging. I better make a Super Mario run for it. What do you mean, Quasar? Good morning. Tired of the meme? What's the meme? The meme, guys. What's the meme? Nina scratches behind one of Kobe's ears, making his foot unconsciously move on its own, catching an invisible but desirable spot for him. Good morning, Miss Nina. Morning. What brings you here? Is everything alright with you and your grandfather? Yes, he's pretty well, even better than before. We talked so much last night, I didn't get to sleep at all. But honestly, it's been a while since I last talked to him so freely that I hardly felt tired at all. That's wonderful. Is that stupid meme? But there's something else I wanted to ask for the both of you. Bluntly, I need your help. If you aren't busy, I would like some company eating these. Wax his face on top of one. It opens and reveals a colorful array of neatly decorated donuts, all lined up perfectly. Background of squished places. Work of art to Hugo's eyes. Donuts. They look so delicious. We're more than happy to eat these with you, Nina. Nina? Nina. The noise?
Pokemon,
Wait, hello?
like the Pokemon
Yo,
trainers.
what up?
Yo, what
And
up?
then you can
On
you
stream.
could trade if you want one of their Pokemon. You can actually trade for it.
Okay. Here we go again. It is donuts. Join Mrs. Nina. We're about to have a breakfast too. You do make it exceptionally easy for me, huh? You two both have great chemistry with each other. Second thought, I'm way too tired for this. I'm going to apologize in advance for this. Truthfully, I've been running on last night's coffee and I'm about to pass out. Little break. What we all need right now. Thanks. Then his friend and proceeds to head for the couch. Would you like to join us? I'd love to. You save these for later. Yes, please do. Now come on, it's nap time. What the heck? Are they all gonna have a big nap together? Is it so far? I'm getting too old. This is nice. Okay. Whisper, you know, I'm glad you came along yesterday. I really mean it. If you haven't, save us back there. Look, I told you before, I'll be there whenever you get yourself into wrecked stuff. Nap time. You too. We bask in the morning glow. No big parties or celebrations. Just each other's company and sharing the small reward. A small reward and comfort. Good end. Case closed. Okay. And that's Stillwater. That's Stillwater, guys. Finished. Finished the game. Achievement. Got save Henry. Now